Today's episode is brought to you by Whoop. I've been using Whoop for about 6 months now. Really like the fact that I can track my recovery. I'm not really crazy and don't really need to track my fitness level because I know we're working really hard. But at my advanced age and my advanced career, recovery is a huge part. So on days where I'm in yellow, I'm all right, I'll keep pushing. But if I have consecutive days in the red, it kind of tells me to push back and ease up a little bit, maybe on intensity, when Haley allows us to. So if you guys want to try it out today, go to whoop.com and use referral code Mayhem to get 15% off.
For you.
Coming in the room.
For you, because you're amazing.
Power.
Rolling.
It's true.
That brisket was good.
Yeah.
That was
How
so
did you
good.
make
Is there any
that?
left?
No. I got the very end. I got just a little bit.
It looked so good.
Good. It was amazing.
So how'd you prep it? And
I bought it from E3. It was a 12-pound brisket, which is a
Superbowl party, Froning's residence yesterday, brisket.
okay.
I brined it in apple juice and 2 hard ciders.
Is that overnight?
Yep, did that for 24 hours. And then took Sweet Baby Ray's, the Carolina one, little mustardy based one. Lathered it up
It's
in
the
that.
best. Ooh.
Actually, before
Did you say lathered?
lathered. Lathered.
That's, you know, it's going to be good.
Before
it's
I did that, I
loud.
actually sprinkled some salt on it before I brined it. So it had some salt already in there.
Gosh, that sounds good.
Then I lathered it up with that Sweet Baby Ray's and then poured garlic, salt, and pepper on it and let it sit on one side to let it kind of not harden but like soak in for a second before I flipped it over. Did the same thing on both sides. Let it sit like that for 24 hours and then Saturday night at about 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock, I put it on the smoker, the Pit Boss smoker.
Was that on that pellet grill?
It's awesome.
Yeah, I need to get one of those.
And turned it on 220. Let it sit there overnight. The only problem was with the snowstorm, the power went out at 4 o'clock. I don't know if I heard the fan kick back on or like kicked off, kicked back down. I was like, oh no. Run outside and the grill was off. The smoker was off. So kicked it back on, had to wait and let it cycle back up to make sure it was going to come back up to temperature. Internal temp because I put a thermometer in it to keep the internal temp. And it was still at 107 and luckily it was cold outside. I don't think it really did anything to it. But I don't know how long the power was off. So kept it on at 225 through till probably, I want to say, it was probably 9 o'clock. It hit 165. And then at 165, I take butcher paper and wrap it up to keep.
Do you know why they use butcher paper? I always wondered why like real barbecue places do that.
It's better than aluminum foil. I don't care what anybody says. Argue it. It's a lie.
You mean like for taste or
For taste, for everything, because it keeps it. It lets it breathe a little bit, but keeps the moisture in there versus aluminum foil that kind of makes it soggy.
Aluminum foil also transfers metals, but we won't get into that. Just saying. If you use aluminum foil, you get put metal in your meat.
Hey.
Okay,
it's
so
time for
butcher
you to eat the
paper.
road. Hey, you gotta do some school.
It's time for school.
Time for
Just
school.
like, look
Back
at this
to school. Back to
Have
school.
fun, like.
And then you can come back in here, okay? Called out on
Busted.
national TV.
She's like, quick hide.
She did, yeah.
So
I wonder why she just came in here.
yeah, it was like 8 or 9 o'clock, I think, when that happened. When it hit 165, so I wrapped it, like I said. And then sometimes I'll crank the temperature up if I want to get it done faster from there. But this time I just left it. I cranked it up 25 degrees, so it went to 250. And then they say the magic number is 203. When it hits 203, you pull it off.
Who taught you 203? That seems
somewhere I read it online.
sounds
And
fancy.
so then from there, I just took it, and then you're supposed to let it relax and do its thing for like an hour or two. The longer you can actually let it do that. So I put it in a cooler, Yeti cooler, and let it just sit there till about 3 o'clock, and it was gone within a matter of probably
Sounds
45
good.
minutes.
It was seriously, I got
It
there.
looked so good.
It was done. There
Yeah.
was a couple
It was-
slices left.
It was delicious.
Start to
It was
finish, how
delicious.
long was that process?
It's not super labor intense. Like, it sounds really hard. It's
Yeah.
not that hard.
You leave it a lot.
Especially with the way that pellet grill is. If you were doing it on like a real smoker, and everybody's like, "That's cheating," I'm like, "I don't care. It tastes good.
Yeah, right?
Tastes good.
Right.
What do I care?"
Why work harder when you can work smarter?
Yeah, heck yeah. So, I mean, technically 3 days, 4 days, but
Yeah.
it's
That's a
worth
lot
it.
of days, though.
Me and AJ now,
Yeah.
AJ at the gym, it's like our thing. We're like, "Hey, you want to cook a brisket?" All right, yeah, all right. I'll go ahead and start prepping it. Like
Yeah.
we did one 2 weeks ago, kind of refining
That's
the
funny.
process. Like
Yeah.
it's mine and AJ's thing. Like, you want to cook a brisket? Yeah, let's cook a brisket.
Bonding
So
over
AJ,
brisket.
Yeah.
AJ came over on Sunday morning at like 9, 10 o'clock
To check
just
it
to
out.
like
Like-
be a part of the process.
That's
It's
awesome.
just, it's like a dude thing.
Yeah.
Or chick thing.
There's
Yeah.
a lot to it, though, too.
Well-
It's like, that's my brother's latest obsession right now, too. And now when I go home, I'll text him a couple days before. I'm like, I want either pork belly or brisket or something like that. Because same thing. Like, he studied it. He knows the temperature thing. He plays with the brine. He has a specific
really,
cooler.
it's really
like,
not that hard.
yeah. But
Once you
as good as
figure
it
out,
is,
once
it's.
you figure it out. Yeah. I do really like butcher paper though, because we did one with aluminum
wanna look that
foil,
up.
and then I've messed with like, do you wrap it from the beginning or not? And what I've found is if you don't wrap it in the beginning, and you go fat side down, we go fat side down. They say it all depends on where the heat source is coming from. The heat source is coming from the bottom, so we do fat side down. I didn't trim this one much, take the fat off. I like that. The fat's so good. It's so good.
I feel like that's
It,
when I
like,
sleep on my
burns
stomach,
almost.
fat side down.
Fat side down.
You sleep on your stomach?
No,
I was
just,
like, I couldn't do that.
just trying to make a dad joke.
Fat sitting down. It landed.
The other day I wanted to buy some scotch. And I never had scotch before. And I couldn't remember who I talked to, so I sent a group text to AJ. Actually, I didn't do it in a group. I text AJ, Addison Shock, and then Tyler.
Peak. Oh, Tyler's a
Because I
connoisseur
know
of
I had
bourbon,
talked to
think.
one of them about
Was it Tyler? Did Tyler?
it ended up being I had said something to Tyler and also to AJ, but Tyler was the one has suggested. I'm literally standing in the liquor store right after they open, so it's like 8:30 in the morning. Like, is this wrong? No. I'm texting people. Which one of these? That's expensive.
Yeah,
but
Tyler's a Scotch
yeah,
guy.
How'd your experiments with the scotch go there, Silver?
So my father-in-law literally told me back when I started messing with this whiskey thing. He's like, "Man, you always drink cheap whiskey." Because what's going to happen is you're going to end up spending a ton of money on whiskey. And I'm not sure that's the right thing. You don't want to do that with your life, So he drinks like Kentucky Gentleman. And Papa Dave can afford whatever he wants. You go to his bar and there's all kinds of really expensive whiskey there, but he just drinks that one kind. And it was right. He's right. Like, that's $70 for that bottle of scotch. And that was the cheapest
Is it really
one.
that much more smooth?
I'm going to be honest. No. It was really cool and it was good, but some of the whiskeys that I have that were $35 for a bottle, it just wasn't that much better.
You just throw a splash of Coke or Coke Zero or Diet Coke
Right.
in there, and it's probably just as good.
I'm trying to do it neat, no ice.
Oh, okay.
So I'm really trying
You're trying to be like.
I'm
That's
trying to
like
test
They don't
hardcore.
have that ice ball or whatever.
No
Those
ice.
are cool.
Just neat.
Little.
It just sounds horrible.
Yeah, I just.
It's like makes me like.
That gave me the chills.
Yeah, I'm like, because I can think about taking a shot of whiskey and just how much it burns.
It's so good. So, but I am learning now the differences in the tastes. I really can start to taste it. But this Scotch compared to like Buffalo Trace whiskey or
Buffalo Trace. I've had Yellowstone. Yellowstone's a pretty good whiskey.
yeah, wasn't that much better.
My problem is I'm not drinking it for the quality
Right.
because I don't drink that much, and so when
Right.
I do, I make up for it.
You should just dump some pickle juice in there. That's how we used to do it.
What are you talking
Pickle
about?
juice
In
and
whiskey?
whiskey?
You've never heard of a whiskey pickleback?
You seriously just made that
No,
up. That is not
no.
true.
No.
Sounds
Seriously?
horrible.
Like they
Takes
have
the
it.
bite out of it, right?
Does
Oh,
it?
it's salty. It's wonderful.
Is that like from the Everglades in Florida back with a bunch of people who
It
don't
was definitely from Florida, but I mean,
wrestling gators and stuff?
you just try it and you tell me what you think.
So did you guys land on a drunken podcast?
A drunken
Didn't you
podcast.
guys? I got on my phone one morning after, and there was.
Oh, yeah,
35
I
didn't go
did
back-
say I was
I
in.
didn't go back through it, and all I saw was drunken podcast.
We're just
That was
waiting
all I
for your
saw.
approval, is all.
What was this? I forgot.
I can't remember,
Jim
honestly.
had already had scotch.
No, I think I had tequila.
No, we were. You were
Was that-
talking about
Oh,
trivia.
the trivia night.
Oh, trivia night.
Okay.
And then we all brought up,
I think
we should have
Elly
one.
brought up drinking on the podcast.
I said it only happened one time.
Okay,
Oh,
that was it.
now it all
That
comes
was it.
back. We were at El Mags, and
trivia night.
And Kristen didn't want to do it. I'm like, let's try, and we were in last place, but we didn't cheat.
No, yeah, people cheat.
I feel like, come on, man, people are using their phones because there were some questions that, come on, how do you know that?
You should never put your phone in a basket or something.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Turn off Siri.
And then we may have had some tequila, my wife and I.
It looked fabulous.
It was legal.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And then we started texting inside the podcast
And
or the
drunk
text
See,
feed.
I think that we should do it one day and challenge the audience to see if the audience can tell the difference.
Right.
See if they know. I don't know.
I don't
Jim
know.
would probably be pretty silly.
I'm trying to be silly. You guys know. I'm
So if
working
we do
at
our
this.
drunken
I'm,
podcast,
I'm
you'd
trying
be
to
silly.
You
laugh.
might be drunk right now.
Yeah.
What's in that shake?
Kristen really likes me. Seriously, she really likes me with a little bit of alcohol because she does. Seriously, she's like, "This is fun. Like you come home and you're just happy, and we don't talk about anything important, and that's fun. And
That's great.
yeah, you're trying to make jokes.
Or just on our Taste Test podcast, I'm going to be like, you guys, here's a big glass of water.
Oh, horrible.
Oh,
I could totally
Can you tell
stop.
the difference between tequila and water at this point?
stop. Yes. Thank you.
I can't. I'm sorry.
It's not even funny.
When does it, he's like,
Do what?
you're like, can you even tell?
It's a serious question. I mean, valid point, right?
It's not valid.
They're just like so opposite. Like you would taking a sip of tequila is like. Okay. Anyway.
Let's try it. Let's try it on Elly.
No.
Oh, let's do.
Test it.
Only if you have Corona, you don't taste it.
Corona.
Yeah, but that brings us
tequila?
back to the
Virus.
story when you were testing your taste buds, and Rich was like, "Oh, I tried mustard, and you tried tequila."
I didn't try it. I smelled it. There's a big difference.
Oh, that was it.
It was the middle of the day.
You smelled the mustard and tried the tequila? Is that what the difference was?
No, I just sniffed it. It's fine.
I don't know. For some reason, the joke always gets me.
It's fine.
It's funny
It's
because
fine.
it's true.
It's not.
I hate it because I didn't drink for years, so I just want people to know that.
Yeah.
Like I spent the majority. I drank a little bit when I was 18 or 19, that kind of a space, and it was actually legal then.
Yeah.
Because it was 3-2 beer where I grew up in Colorado, so it wasn't illegal at that point at all either. And then there were years because I wanted to compete. Mm-hmm. It was important. I know I didn't do anything other than what was healthy. I didn't eat cookies. I didn't do any of that.
Why'd you point at Tasia?
Because
We have a running
Because
joke.
she doesn't eat cookies?
I eat cookies. Well, this last Super Bowl, do you want me to tell?
Yeah, go ahead.
Jim ate like 30 cookies.
Which cookies?
All different kinds.
I'm pretty sure Trice did too. I walked up at one point and Trice, I see him grab a cookie. I said, Trice, what are you doing? He goes, nothing. I don't have a cookie.
I felt hungover this morning. I had so much of that stuff
I had
last
no
night.
alcohol last night, and I
Yeah,
felt hungover.
me too.
Half of my stomach was brisket, and the other half was this cream cheese Oreo whipped cream.
Oh
thing
my gosh, that
stirred up
sounds so
with
good.
graham crackers and one strawberry. I
Oh
ate
my gosh.
my weight in that and brisket. That's all I had yesterday. And this morning at like 7:15, I was like, where am I? And I got 8 hours of sleep, like great. No real wake up. Only pissed twice in the middle of the night. And I still woke
Where
up
am
like,
I?
what the hell's going on? And usually, like, once the sun's out, I'm like, all right, I'm up. This took me like, I can fall back asleep.
Yeah.
And I was like pressing to get my coffee done and all that stuff before going out this morning. I was,
Yeah.
That's really
Who
funny.
makes somebody brought over it tastes like frosting or cake.
The fun I think it was Kayla, right?
Yeah, my sister makes this funfetti dip.
shoot.
It's just like,
I foundered
basically
on
just
that.
funfetti
Oh.
ice cream and whipped cream. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure is all it
gosh.
is, equal
Yeah.
parts. So it makes it kind of fluffy, and then you just dip animal crackers in it.
That sounds fantastic.
I was taking cookies and putting it in between and making a sandwich out of that.
Yeah.
Well, the cookie story with you, Jim, it's more that, you know, people are like, oh, I could eat 30 cookies. And you're like, okay, Jim really can.
I could
No.
I could challenge you on cookie eating.
Oh, we should do this.
Ooh, that could be a.
I've gone like with the only person ever to defeat me in Oreo cookies is my stepson.
Really?
And he went we each did a whole bag, double stuff. No, just to see if he can get through it.
No.
And then he did, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 more in the second bag than I did before I was like, man, I got to be done. I think
Did
I'm
you
going to
do
die.
milk with it or just?
Yeah, milk, whatever you
Okay.
wanted.
How
just
many cookies in total is in one of those? Is it a 3 sleeve
Double
one?
stuff?
I was
or-
gonna say
double
yeah.
stuff.
That's good. EL fudge cookies is where I'm at.
I gotta try.
Oh, those are so good.
double stuff EL fudge cookies.
I haven't tried
Me and
those.
Hillary
So
have a
good.
stash at the house that you have to go turn into the laundry room, and it's up high so the kids can't see it. And you can just I know when she's in there, and she knows when I'm in there. She's like, it's either, hey, bring me one, or what are you doing in there? Like last night, everybody had left, and I hear the cookie thing going, and you're like, what are you doing in there? Nothing. And the kids will walk in. I'm like, are there cookies up there? No.
No, you flat lie.
Yeah.
No.
That's
No
moving the
cookies.
truth. It's okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
I lie to my kids all the time. No. No.
To be fair, Trice was eating carrots and he took a broccoli head and just bit the top of it last
And then
night.
jammed it back in the
Yeah.
ranch, probably, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll take a bite of carrot, put that carrot down, get a new
Yes.
carrot,
He
dip
was
it in
doing
there,
that.
and then like the halves of carrots are everywhere.
But I was impressed that he was just
Yeah.
like carrot, celery, broccoli.
Right on.
Just choosing some healthy stuff in between cookies, trying to keep it balanced.
When I got married, I got happy. And I'm not trying to necessarily be a competitor. And so when I met Kristen, I started trying to drink a little bit and eat more and not really care about it. But I went to the store the other day. I went to get Oreos.
And you got scotch.
I got the scotch prior to going to the liquor store first.
IGA.
Yeah. And then I switched out for animal crackers though. I did good. Like I was like, no, I get animal crackers.
Frosted animal crackers.
Nope.
The ones with the string.
So good.
Those are good.
Don't
just-
even go
Have you
down
had
that.
Oh, they're so good.
they're amazing.
But I was like, okay,
Those
get
are-
something that doesn't have a ton of frosting and stuff on it. So I did. I got some milk. I went home. Kristen and I had about half a bag. And then
Are
the
they the
next.
Barnum and Bailey's ones? Because those are incredible. Animal
Yeah. Yeah,
they're
that's
like
the
vanilla,
red
yeah.
bag.
Yeah,
The
they're
right-
so good. Or the
yeah.
box. Oh, they're so good.
And then the next morning, I grabbed that bag, ran out to the
Throw it
trash
away.
can, dumped them
Yeah.
out. And then she was telling everybody last night
Well,
behind my back.
Oh, no, Kristen.
Yes.
Well, Kristen was like, yeah, Jim ate the whole bag.
No, I did not. I 100% did not. I swear on my love for my kids, I dumped it out.
Well, because she only saw the empty bag, right? In the garbage.
She thought the bag was gone when
Yeah.
she woke up the next day. And she knows that I'll eat it and then try to hide it
Yeah.
and bury it.
She was like, yeah, Jim came and finished it in the morning. They were all
They-
gone.
Co-
And Jim's like,
Kodiak Cakes makes.
They're crackers?
Crackers.
Crackers?
Yeah,
They're
they're
good.
not bad. Have
Yeah.
you seen Heavyweights?
come on.
You've got to watch
Yeah.
Heavyweights, dude.
Okay.
You'll
It's a
love
movie.
it. Yeah, it's an early 90s.
Okay.
Kids movie, but Ben Stiller,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, he runs a fat camp.
Yeah.
And he's
Okay.
never had any, like, his like, opening line is, like, being raised by private tutors my entire life.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to interacting with children for the first time. And it's great. Like, he's just so...
The best
And the
part,
kids, like,
yeah,
trying to
when they go to the weigh-in,
Rapper?
and they're all like,
rapper.
well, he's like weighing them all in front of each
Step on
other,
the scale.
and they're all
Step on-
gaining weight, and he's just freaking out.
What's wrong, little Tony? Nothing. How you doing, little Tony? Bad. Why you doing bad?
Like talking to himself, just like,
It's their fault. It's their fault, and you will pay. Yeah, it's so good.
I want to go like watch it
When
right
they're
now.
running
It's
in,
so
they're
good.
like, rapper? Food rapper. Hey, where'd you get that? I found it.
Yeah,
It's so good.
it's really funny.
Yeah, because there's one, I think we talked about it.
Yeah,
on
we
here.
talked about it
Yeah,
last
where he's
time.
like-
Week, yeah.
Yeah, where he's like,
He's like, buddy.
buddy. The one kid's not even,
Yeah.
it's actually Goldberg from Mighty Ducks. It's got a lot of the same kids. It's the same era,
Yeah.
so a lot
Yeah,
of the kids,
yeah.
same kids in it.
It's
Buddy! Buddy!
so funny.
Yeah, keyword is value. Do you have any? Not yet, you don't. Have you seen it, Ben? Did you watch it? Oh,
What?
Man. Do you have Disney Plus?
What's it called again? No,
Heavyweights. Oh,
No.
man.
I haven't seen it.
You gotta watch Heavyweights.
Sounds
Classic.
funny. Anything with Ben Stiller is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
so
So which is worse then, my obsession with sweets or Elly's
tequila?
obsession with
Okay,
tequila?
and let's be fair. I had never had a sip of alcohol till I was 27. Just on that
You
note,
made up
by
for
the
it
way.
since
I have not. Most people do all their crazy drinking before then.
Well, I guess sin is sin. We're both going to hell. It's all right. I'm just kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke.
Gluttony, you know, drunkenness, all of it, you know.
I don't think drunkenness isn't one of the 7 deadly sins, is it?
It's not a good one.
Anyway,
I hope not.
anyway, about that.
And moving on.
Is there anything else you can eat an entire bag of other than Oreos? Animal
Most
crackers?
anything.
Kettle Bros, for sure.
Oh
Bros,
gosh,
Corn
cereal.
Oh, that's good.
you can't
Cereal.
not eat cereal.
I could easily
Yeah,
down a box of cereal.
Yeah, hey, listen, I've been to the hospital
I
with
know.
cereal.
Don't do it. I've learned.
Ain't nothing but a thing.
Yeah.
It was worth it.
Did I tell you guys about the guy that went in the doctor's office before me with the ER or PR or ER T-shirt?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, yeah, like it's the same kind of thing, like with the cereal.
Wide open, man.
Yeah, so there's this guy going
That's
into
pretty rough.
into the doctor's office before I do, and he's like a 40-something-year-old guy who's definitely an alcoholic. You can see it in his face, and he has a T-shirt on, and he's definitely roided out for sure. He's that kind of guy.
This is Jim's truth moment of the week. We're back to
Like
Jim and his
I'm
truth.
literally watching him go into the doctor to the appointment right before me, and he turns around and I see his T-shirt and it says PR or ER. I'm like, that guy. Whatever. I go into my
Wow.
appointment and the doctor who's done my surgery is like, oh, another one of you guys. I mean, he totally lumped me in with that guy, and I was so bummed about that.
Did you set him straight or?
No, I just want him to fix my shoulder. He's kind of he's a good surgeon, but you know how some of those surgeons are. They're kind of jerks, and you want them to be. I don't.
Yeah,
you need
you
to be
can't,
nice to me.
Yeah.
Just fix my shoulder.
Just fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shut up, funny guy, and make it.
Yeah.
Wedding Crashers.
Okay.
Vince Vaughn. I would have got that.
Which scene?
When he's making the balloons.
Nice. Well done.
Tasia.
What did he want him to make?
Tricycle. Bicycle. Same thing.
Tricycle.
Make me a bicycle clown.
Oh, yeah, bicycle.
Silver, how is your shoulder?
Really good.
You back in action? Are you coming to the barn this week?
No, I'm gonna be gone this week, but
Oh, okay. Next week?
I'm supposed to get I'm not approved to even raise it this way yet, so I can do all kinds of things down here right now. Mm-hmm. But I can't do. And look how weird it got right there. I can't do that yet. I'm seeing AJ's taking care of me, and we're doing the PT and all that stuff. So it's better. It's starting to feel like it's mine, like it's attached to me, and then sometimes it's like, whoa, not mine. Weird. Like,
Sleeping better?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the worst part after surgery is just sleep. You can't get it. It's like so hard.
It's been really weird. I'm sleeping in the guest bedroom. So you just, in every way, you just feel disconnected. You don't feel like you're living your real life, you know, like, because I'm tossing and turning and getting up and all that. But it's going to be all right.
Yeah.
You'll be good. Sure.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Yeah.
It'd be cool for you not to have pain.
I woke up with my arm completely asleep the other night. That's not a good feeling.
It's a
Oh,
horrible
it's terrible.
feeling. Did I tell you guys about that time when we were coming back from China and we were on the plane for so long I couldn't get comfortable, so I tucked my leg under my other leg and fell asleep.
Oh, no.
And I had like one of those almost panic moments because
No.
oh my goodness, it would hurt so bad though. You know when it's like really
I
asleep?
hate when the blood rushes back to it or whatever, and it feels like it's going to explode.
And I was walking around the plane. I'm like, this is how I'm going to get a blood clot in my
you
leg.
had deep vein thrombosis.
Because when you fly, I had those long socks on, and I'm like, this was the worst
I'm
time
gonna
of my life.
die. I can just see Tasia's like mental avalanche.
I got up so many times on that flight to China. I was just like back and forth.
Me and Dre met at the middle of the plane, did some air squats.
It was
It was
horrible.
awful. It was the worst.
How many
thing ever.
hours was it? It was a long.
16.
That was
That's so long.
Wow.
That's insane. I can't believe a plane can fly that long.
I had
mean,
that.
that's like.
And
Right.
then I had the next year, I had that flight to Dubai where I was first class.
gosh.
The most amazing experience of my life.
Well, I remember you sacrificed your first class so we could all go Comfort Plus, which was
Comfort
really
Plus.
kind, but you should not have done that because Comfort Plus is like the same as
It's
Coach.
the same as Coach.
So we all just suffered rather than
They're
like,
like, yeah, we can give you one business class, but everybody else has to fly economy. I was like, dang it.
But in theory, well, Hillary would have gotten it, but in theory, somebody should have taken it.
Yeah.
What was it like?
Awful.
You just get
No,
like
first class.
Oh, first class, amazing.
Like, what do you
Don't
mean?
Remember that? Dubai? You had like your full, almost like a full room when I went to
Gosh.
Dubai.
I know nothing about this.
Oh, I thought when, so we went to Australia, and in between there, it was like a month between that trip. Trice, we had tried to move upstairs and it was just not working. He'd show up at my bed at 3 a.m. and Hillary would never get up with him. I would have to get up with him every day. So I was a zombie for that whole month. We went to Dubai. We flew to Boston first and then flew over. I slept. As soon as the plane took off, I fell asleep on the way to Dubai. Because it's full, like lay the seat all the way back. Like a bed, you have your own little cupboard. You have a stewardess that you could push a button and they bring you any full whatever.
That's
full
what I
service.
need.
You can
Wow.
shut the door. I took my shirt off. So I sleep with my shirt off.
Yeah.
Fell asleep. 11 hours. We land. Stewardess comes up. She's like, "Hey, can I get you anything? You didn't do anything."
You didn't even
the whole
eat?
flight. No, I was like, "No, I'm good." We landed. We got to Dubai at like 9 o'clock. We got to the hotel by 10:30. Went to sleep at 10:30 and didn't wake up till 8:30 the next morning. I was
Wow.
Your body was like.
Yeah,
That's amazing, though.
awesome. Yeah, I slept almost 24 hours.
But then, were you able to recover like for the next days and sleep?
yeah, I was
Yeah,
fine.
you're fine.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, no, I was.
Because remember when we went to London, everyone slept like 15 hours, and then
then
I
trash.
couldn't sleep for the rest of the week.
One night.
Rich was like, "We're leaving for the gym at 8, and all of us are just sleeping till like 10.
Yeah, it was
So
awful.
messed
You
up.
took me with you to Texas when Zeb sent the private plane, the jet, and that was probably one of the, like, for traveling,
Yeah,
the coolest
so good.
experiences of my life.
Heck yeah,
Like, to
private
not go
plane,
back
15
through.
15 minutes out over here at the local regional airport, no security. You just walk up. Because that's what happens when we do that event in Amarillo, which
Yeah.
we're doing in May for Mission 2540. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's nuts. So you just hand them your stuff. You go into the plane that takes off. You
I just don't
land. You get in a
understand how that
car.
works. Because I had to
Epic.
do that with my dad when he was like getting him from the hospital because he couldn't be on a regular plane. That was the only reason. And literally, you pull the car up to the plane. And then when you get picked up, you can pull a car up to the plane. They check nothing. The one guy, I don't even know if this is legal. He's like, "Sir, can I see your, driver's license, whatever?" Dad's like moving real slow at this point, and I was like, "I don't know." She's like, He was like, "Can you vouch for him?" I'm like, "Yeah." Didn't even check his ID. Like, how in the world?
You're like,
It's
"Yeah,
so
I know this
crazy.
guy."
But there's no security risk.
None
Yeah.
at
No,
all.
but I mean, there
Yeah.
is no security risk.
Yeah.
I think that's why they can
Yeah.
do it.
Why, though?
Like,
Why is
they're
this-
assuming whatever the risk is. They don't think you're going to blow up the plane.
Yeah.
Like,
Well-
we're going through the airport. All of that stuff has to be done, right?
Yeah.
I
Before you
guess
can
I
get
was
on
thinking
a.
of like transporting things. Like you could transport whatever you wanted.
Yeah, but I think they're assuming the responsibility for all of that, right? I mean, the pilots, the people, all that. If you're doing that, they're assuming the responsibility for that. Where if
guess-
you go to a public airport, you got to get on a plane with a bunch of other people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Am I making sense?
Yeah, like there's more risk of someone like being a terrorist, like trying to
Right.
take a whole plane down filled with
Right.
people.
I guess I was just thinking more like mobsters. They could just.
Oh, they're
take it-
doing
they
that
could
for
take
sure.
anything they want anywhere, and I was like, "There's no limitations
There- I mean,
for
yeah.
anything."
It's happening.
Maybe I should be a mobster then, if we have this easy way to do it.
Would be the worst mobster ever.
I would be.
Can you imagine?
They just
Can't do anything illegal. Her and Hillary had a full-blown meltdown because we had too many people at the
At a table.
Sometimes I'm reckless. Not
Oh,
really.
Tasia, and she really,
Tasia.
really
Upside down
respects your
pizza.
time
That's
too.
the only time I've ever heard of you. being
Anyways,
That is true. That is your epic story.
That's so funny. All grace and no truth. Tasia wouldn't be able to be a,
I
no-
just wouldn't be able to fake it. Like carrying a bag of money and drugs, and they're like, "Hey, what's in there?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Drugs, take it. Just take it.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. It wasn't mine.
I won't make it in jail.
I'm just trying to make money. I'm sorry. I got them from.
I'll tell you everything you want to know.
Go find them.
Yeah, don't tell Tasia anything that's
Oh,
shady.
gosh.
Don't do that.
I could just see her like.
Oh.
Somebody's like, "Hey, Tage, I wasn't mine. I'm sorry."
Just sweating bullets.
Yeah, it's true.
Just sitting at the table the other night with all the people there, she was freaking out. I kept looking over at her, and she's
I'm
just like
she
totally worried.
said 6 people, guys. We're at
Her
14.
and Hillary were freaking out.
I relaxed.
It's all right. You have a good heart. It's good.
I don't like breaking rules. Like even today, I was like, Elly, like our lunch got there only like 5 minutes before we had to go, and I was like, I'm just gonna wait because I want to be on time. And we didn't start until 10 minutes later, so I was like, what am I thinking?
We're good.
I'm like, I shouldn't eat this because like they said noon, so I want to like be there at the right time.
Well, I love you so much, and I know when your anxiety's starting to mount, like the more serious your tone gets, I'm like, I know that she's
It's more
not
about being
comfortable doing
punctual. Like I'm
this. Yeah.
really into
no,
being
and I think that's
punctual.
great. I
But-
love that
It's a good-
aspect.
Yeah,
I
Being
guess.
punctual,
good quality.
100%.
There's nothing wrong with
You're out
having
of time.
integrity.
So-
Sometimes you just gotta relax.
Yeah,
Just
but it's
let's-
also like not a big deal.
RELAX.
Like I used to show up to the bar and like, on time all the time.
Even like 5 minutes early.
6:30 in the morning.
My time.
Anyways.
You still
Moving
are
on.
always on time. You're still
I
always
am
a
on
couple
time.
minutes early.
But I'm
Always.
like less on time. Like I show up on time, not 15 minutes early, which is technically on time in my brain.
Yeah.
Yes. But do you still show up 15 minutes early to everything else?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. That's great. Silver, you're probably like that too.
On time? Yeah.
Early equals on time.
Yeah.
I
think that's important.
Kids.
Yeah.
That's different though.
I've tried, but man, the kids. Like, hey, we're leaving at 11:30.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no concept
this morning,
to them.
the little two were fine. It was Lakeland. Threw
Really?
a fit about her color of shoes. That's gonna be fun.
Her outfit is on point today, though.
I said the shoes look great with her outfit, but
Yeah.
she hated it. She had one shoe that was like had a turquoise whatever on it, but we couldn't find the other one. And I'm like, she's freaking out, sitting in a ball, mad at me because I won't let her. Cause I'm like, I would let you wear the shoe if we could find the shoe.
Yeah.
But we can't find the shoe. Like, that's the difference. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Just find a matching pair of shoes. Or I don't even care if they match. Just find 2 shoes.
Right.
And sure
Just
enough, she
2.
just sits there in a ball. So then I had to threaten her with, all right, no cell phone
Yeah.
usage for the next 3 days.
Yeah.
So there's what it is.
I heard this guy say one time, make money, save money, waste money. And it was somebody who was super successful. They had a lot of that. I was like, I started thinking about that and relates to time, because time is now honestly my most important commodity in my life.
You ain't got much left.
That's straight up. There's that.
Sorry.
No, that's good.
That was quick.
The idea of being on the back nine's legitimate.
Mm-hmm.
Part of what I was driving at, and I even wrote about it yesterday in the mindset stuff. Like, I haven't wasted enough time or money. And he's not saying that from be frivolous, be a moron. We've planned, we've prepared. He's saying, just don't forget, like,
Have some fun.
yeah, have some fun, smile, relax a little bit, like, be silly, like, and that's the part that I think makes it important. And I spent most of my life, like I'm saying, being so stinking serious that there was no time to waste some time. And
Does
then
this mean we get to schedule a trip?
Yeah, well, like, think about it. I'm literally going to see Brittany Thursday, Friday, and Saturday because, like, literally, I'm like, what am I doing? I haven't seen my kid in a minute. Why am I doing that?
Yeah.
Why have I not done that? What's the point?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Some of that, like, to be intentional about that and to make sure there is zero danger because of who you are, that you're going to go overboard and all of a sudden just be this, like, drunken hippie. There's no danger.
I'm out.
Because you're so organized and you're so full of grace and all that. So sometimes to be intentional, let some of that go.
Get a little crazy.
Yeah.
All right, you said it, Jim.
What would that look like? What would crazy
We don't
be
need
for
to
you?
try and think about it more.
I think Tasia crazy.
What did she say the
times.
other day? She said something the other day that was like, what did you say?
What? What was it about? In
Making.
context too.
You know what they were just saying? Your outfit looks great. Your
Yeah,
shoes
looks
match
good.
your outfit.
I love those hot pink shoes.
Huh. What are you doing? Is the warden going to come find you in a second? Or are you free? Are you done? You taking a break? What'd you learn? You got to tell me.
Whoa.
All right, well. What'd you learn? You learned about the alphabet? That's good.
Ooh.
What letter did you learn? Or are you learning? Or are you working on? A. Nice. Okay. Good job.
Asparagus.
Yeah.
Nice work, Lakeland. Nice job.
Get that out of your mouth.
I can't believe how big they're all getting.
I know, they're
I know.
ginormous.
It is-
I saw your cat yesterday.
Which one?
Which one? What's the calico one? What's her name?
Miley.
Miley.
The long
Yeah.
haired one's Haley.
Remember when Miley was going to be my cat first?
Oh,
And then you got her?
I hate you, Jim.
I know.
Every time I walk out of that garage, I curse you. When they come running at the door.
Yeah. But I was like, I saw her yesterday and I was like really proud of you, Lakeland. You've done a good job taking care of that cat. That
kitties look
cat's
good.
doing really
Oh,
good.
has she? Does she feed them every
Hey,
time?
hey, you see what I'm trying to do here?
Yeah.
Jeez. Back to your point on time, I was thinking about this recently, and I keep bringing it up, and it could just be like, hopefully I'm not just like validating my own choices. But I was listening to a podcast about something, and it's such a good point because we always like talk about like memory and remembering things, and you know, like to your point about like how are you balancing your life out? And if someone asked you like, I don't know, 2017 or 2018, like what do you remember from that year? Like specifically, like what are your like highlights? Like you can really only remember a handful of things.
I remember Rich getting second.
Oh!
It's not throwing shade. I just remember
What
the
did you
whole
just say?
year just being about silver.
I can remember when he came in. What did he say?
Fired.
I'll go get Scott.
Did he just say, I remember when Rich came in second?
Yeah.
That's what he said?
What do you remember for 2017, Jim?
2017?
Yeah.
That's all I remember now.
Yeah.
Tear my meniscus and get
I was gonna
second.
say, yeah.
Thanks, Ben.
All right, besides that, what do you remember?
that was-
Not anything now. That's all that comes to mind. Thank you.
That
Just
was
think of
Rich's
something
dark
else.
Hey,
year.
can't
mine
now.
was coming to Cookeville in 2017, so
Is that when you came here first?
the end,
End of.
the winter 2017.
Yeah. you're
That
right.
was a rough year.
I'm doing such a good job being present, I don't have no memories of 2017.
I don't think that's good either. You
It's
should
just-
see a doctor.
It's just that I'm old and I can't remember 2017. Now, what were you saying?
I'm not kidding. That's
was
what-
funny.
That's the only thing I remember.
That
I
was
think.
good.
I'm just saying, next time you question
Basic-
whether or not you should do
basically
something
living
fun.
on your highlights. Because that's all you're going to really remember.
Yeah.
or your low
I'm just saying,
lights,
don't
too.
get stuck. Make sure you do things that you're gonna remember, basically, because you can end up.
YOLO.
No, that's not what I'm
That's a
saying.
good
Pretty sure that was
saying.
2017.
YOLO, it was.
That was very 2017.
I'm keeping it alive.
I think like when you hear people talk about, I'm not even joking here, like when you start to get closer to death, you think about, like when you're a kid, you don't think about any of that stuff,
Yeah.
you know? And now I actually do honestly think about finishing strong, or even in your world, thinking about legacy as opposed to some other things, which is something I know you're starting to process in your head. It's funny when people don't talk about accomplishments really when they're getting ready to die, or that's a whole, like, I mean, I heard people, my uncle, talk about what was important, and it was relationships and people that are in your life and
there's one of
family
the,
and
Judah and the Lion songs that plays, and it talks about that. It's on that playlist that we hear all the time because it's the only thing that's YouTube safe. What's the song?
For now.
Stand by. Huh?
For now.
For now, until Ben fixes that.
Well, that's
Ooh.
like
It's
there
great,
was
but we can only listen to the one album. Is what sucks.
They do this. There was like this. There's a book I can't remember who was talking about it. It was some podcast. Go figure. They were talking about exactly what you're talking about, like people like the most meaning in their life, and it's a pool of like 100 of the most successful people on the planet, from business to sports to everything else. And they asked every single one, you know, on your deathbed, what do you want to be known for? And maybe 1% included their like 9, you know, championships or this or that, but almost every single one was like, I wanted to be like a great father or a great leader or a great whatever it was, supportive of this, that, you know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, and that's kind of why I got to the point about the whole moments, because it's funny, because my dad at this point in his life, he just turned 70, but coming from being really sick, every time I talk to him, he's planning another trip, and I'm like, I've always known you to be outgoing, but this is extravagant. He's like, I don't know what my time is. I'm going to go out with a bang. And I'm like, all right, you're going to tell me this every time we talk? And sure enough, he's like, but that's real. I didn't think that was like...
No, it's totally legitimately real. Like
Yeah.
when you, this place that I'm at right now in my life, where I make the jokes about being on the back nine and all of that, but all that is like important to me now. Like
Yeah.
I'm thinking about connecting with people in relationships, and this idea of being able to have some fun and be able to hang out with people and relax, and
100%.
as opposed to just the, you know, being so serious. I mean, that's important. I know. And I'm not saying that we don't handle the other things that are important and we don't pay attention to our responsibilities, but being in
Rich kids. Sorry.
rich kids,
Yeah.
Judah and the Lion.
Lyrics on there are really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, did you find him?
Took me a second, but I found it. Because you could remember the name of the song. I remember, like, I know all the lyrics.
What was the name of it?
Rich Kids.
Oh, gotcha. That's what you just said.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the hard part too, is like, especially with these guys, as part of it, I'm like, I'm not, like, at what point in my career am I sacrificing time with them? You know, when does it get selfish? So that's where I'm at. I'm like, when's enough, you know?
Yeah. I was
Getting
listening.
there, I think.
Tom Brady sat down with Oprah.
Oh, Tom.
I know, your favorite.
Tell me.
I thought I'd listen to it today in honor of his victory. He did like a Super Soul Sunday with her, which was really interesting because she asks some pretty hard questions. And he was talking a lot about that too. He's like, when I get to the point where I have to miss taking my kids to practice, I'm never going to, you know, do that. As long as I'm still enjoying what I'm doing and I'm not sacrificing like the memories of things with them and supporting them for their endeavors, then I'm going to keep doing it.
Winning rings. Yeah.
You don't
Win
have
and
like
rings.
you don't. What you're saying right now is you don't. That's an evolving answer that you have to pay
Yeah.
attention to.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
like one day wake up and go, "This is what it
this
is."
is what's happening. Yeah.
You pay attention to where you're at and you're real present, and you fix it.
For
And
sure.
I love, and I'm using this your life as an example. I'm using it all the time. And one of the things that I think is powerful is that we hear people talk about, "Hey, why weren't you an individual? Why did you decide not to be an individual competitor?" When you physically were capable of doing it. It had nothing to do with that. It had everything to do with, hey, I need to make some space for other people in my life. And it wasn't even that you were training any different.
No.
Necessarily. But this is what I've heard you say. I'm just repeating it, so you fix it if I'm wrong. But the mental part of being an individual competitor and the pressure of all that doesn't let other people in.
Right.
You can't and go be that person. Like, this performance identity, who you are in that space, connected to your personal identity, the core values, to, hey, my family, these things are also important to me. So now I can't continue to be selfish, which is what you have to do, not even in a bad way.
Yeah. Couldn't compete.
So how that process that you've been through in your life is super instructive, whether you even know it or not.
Right.
It just because if you just watch, here's what it takes to be a champion, and not sacrifice my personal relationships with other people.
Right.
And that requires us to make adjustments. Period. End of story. I was talking to Darren Woodson on the podcast, and he was saying, holy smokes, if I'd have been thinking about some of this early, I wouldn't be divorced.
Right.
And my kids wouldn't be mad at me. He didn't say some of that specifically, but I just mean athletes who didn't get that part figured out.
Right.
They were great on the field,
Off the field stuff.
but off the field, that personal side of who they are, they forgot about it.
Yeah,
But think
because
of how
that's
hard that
gonna be
is,
longer
too.
than what your athletic career is, hopefully. You know.
But that's the whole point of your program too, is that like you give people the ability, like it's amazing that Rich had that awareness, but if all you've ever been is an athlete and it's the only way you've been validated or affirmed, you think that's the only way, like, that's where you're getting your good chemicals. And if you don't realize your decisions based on your core values, like what you teach, then you don't know anything different than making those decisions too,
It's crazy because it's just true. It's obvious on its face that there's more to you, more to your value or purpose than just performance. There has to be, because the performance piece is going to be done in your middle 30s. It's going to be over, and then you have a whole entire life. And so if you don't figure out those transitions,
people can't compete at
No.
things
Of course.
past,
Yeah.
but,
No.
being
yeah.
a professional athlete.
Yeah,
those
yeah,
things-
when
It's
and
different.
you're still gonna have some professional athletes at those ranges,
Right.
Yeah.
in certain sports, but
yeah, to be able to include all of life and to be intentional about all of that requires
to be the
different.
best in the world at anything takes a lot of bandwidth, mentally, physically, all that.
Yeah.
And it wears on you too. But then you got to realize, all right, what's like we talk about, what you talk about with your values, how does it align? And it is a moving target. It's not it's not cut and dry every time you do something. It's like, all right, let's assess this from a different standpoint. On that note, congrats Matt for retiring, Matt Fraser. For
Oh, right on.
Yeah,
this is the
congrats.
first podcast we've had since that. So
Yeah.
happy for him. Talked a little bit. Hopefully he'll get in,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stress. It gets
Yeah.
it's lonely, as much as you have people with you and you have an incredible support system, it gets, lonely being it and doing it by yourself as an individual. So happy for him. Sounds like he's excited to
Right on.
next,
Yeah, that's awesome.
stage of life. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, it's like you always talk about, like, there is no balance at that point. That's
No,
something
there's
that I
not.
always remember. Like, there is no balance there. And even what you're saying about being lonely, like, no matter if you're the best in the world at anything, there's almost like an inconsistency of like what is real and what
everybody's
is
a
like people
threat.
just
Everybody's a
thinking.
threat, yeah.
I mean, that's got to be so exhausting mentally too.
Balance means you can be pretty good at a lot of things. So you can't be a champion and be balanced. You can only be intentional at 3 or 4 other things, and then everything else is something that has to go by the wayside, right? So, and then so being able to figure out how to craft that and make sure that that's, like the word intentional. And people say sometimes, you know, like I'll use that as an example. Do you think Rich Froning is balanced in nutrition and fitness?
Yeah.
No, he's not balanced. It's not balanced. He's intentional about it. He spends a ton of his day doing it. Then he goes and builds a barn next to his house so he can be really close to his family so that it takes him 30 seconds to get there and back. So he can continue to be intentional about it. And if you want to be this kind of champion or put yourself in that kind of space where physically that's what you're doing, you got to calculate it. You know what I mean? I get balance as a soft skill in life. I get that. But I'm talking about winning at something. You can be great at your family and your faith and fitness, and we're starting to get, you got to be careful what we do with the rest of it. You know what I mean? We have to be really intentional or it'll be out of control.
For sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
Get it.
Without question.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people just don't understand that that's what it takes, right? Like they see
Oh, you
Rich
get to
or
work
someone,
out for a living.
like that must be so
gosh.
easy and great, and you're like you don't actually see everything, the whole
Yeah.
picture,
It is
what it goes through.
blessed for sure to be able to do what we love, but yeah,
It's still a
anything
job,
becomes
though.
A
It's
job
not-
becomes
yeah.
a job. you
Yeah.
know? And you don't think about all the other things you have to do as well. So
There's this friend of mine's son came up here for a Train with Rich weekend, and he's all excited about CrossFit. And he's a good kid, but he doesn't have the skill set right now to be to be competitive. He's not going to the games, and he's in his late 20s. So I don't know, man.
clock's ticking.
Yeah.
You know, and then he was excited. And I'm taking him back to the airport. And he's really excited about this, and he's motivated because he got up here for the weekend. And he says, "What do you think? You think I can make it to the CrossFit Games?" And I was like, "Nope." And he's just kind of, and now understand I have a relationship with him.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm
Not
kind
just
of,
crushing
I'm
someone's
kind of like his
dreams.
uncle, and I'm not trying to be a jerk. And he's like, "What do you mean, man? One, you're not good enough, so I'm just being honest. I'm not saying you can't go work at it. Two, you're 26 years old, so the window's closing. You asked me if you could go to the CrossFit Games, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah,
You got a wife and 3 kids."
that's already
Your responsibility level is already way more than will allow you at this point in your life to dedicate what it would take. It's not that you don't have the innate talent and ability. It's just your responsibility level is way high, and I don't know that you can without
Yeah.
somebody, you know, giving you a bunch of money. How do you go to do that? You know, and that's tough when we start to look at some of this stuff in life and go. So if you're saying to a young person, "I want to go to the CrossFit Games," okay, man, you just keep your life. Be careful with your car payment, your house payment, who you're responsible to. Be able to live under a park bench.
Yeah.
And then pay to go to the gym, and then see what's up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And be willing to sacrifice that.
Yeah, for sure.
So, what do you guys think about this? This was another thing that Tom Brady said on the interview with Oprah that I thought was interesting because I never really thought about why, like when you watch the Super Bowl or you watch some incredible feat, whether it be someone at the Olympics or the X Games, and you're so fired up when that person like nails that triple, whatever they've never done before, or wins a Super Bowl and you get goosebumps. But his comment was, because she was like, how does it feel having people watch you and think they know you every single week? And he was talking about how winning gives people hope, and that there's something about being a winner that lets people watch with their team. So you're seeing your team be their best selves. And if he's saying it allows anyone watching to feel like they're part of being their best selves.
They're connected.
Which I don't really know how I feel about that, because I don't think that's how I feel when I'm watching someone do something like that. In my mind, I see the immense sacrifice and dedication it must have been to be the
But
best
you're
at what they're
also
doing.
different because you kind of have some perspective on that. For people who don't have perspective with that, they feel connected to it. They, feel some, I guess, belonging to
Yeah.
it. You know?
No, I mean, I feel connected to Tom Brady.
Well, that's what I mean. I really, I loved what he said.
I love it. I was hoping you would say that.
Yeah, when he's winning, I'm like, this is me. This is us. We did this.
Tom,
so
me and you.
I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm amazed that we accomplished this together.
Thanks for bringing me here. I'd like to thank Tom.
I literally use we when I'm talking about like, Tom or the Pats. So I understand what these people feel.
I was really
And I
hoping-
can see the sacrifice side, but when he's playing the game, I'm not thinking about all his hours in the gym. I'm thinking about him winning.
Yeah, about the amazing
love
pass.
that.
Yeah, but I thought that was a really cool.
So good, Tasia.
view.
It's so good. You know what's so funny is that I think, like, when I think about Tom Brady, when I think about Rich's life, when I think about like anybody at the top of their sport, you know, whoever that is, just put whatever's name there is at the top of the sport. Like they're to some of those people, character counts. So who they are as a competitor matters, and they've figured out within the white lines to do whatever it takes to friggin' win within the white lines. I don't see immoral or cheating. That's not what I'm saying. And then there are people in that same sport who character doesn't really count. And there's people who on the outside of the sport necessarily we don't admire or we don't want to live lives like them. If you were to think about Tom Brady or even like LeBron James, those are people we don't hear bad things about them outside of their sport, and I admire that. You know, I admire that. It's cool to see somebody win like that, and then we don't know anything really about them personally, but at least you don't hear. You know, like Antonio Brown. It was cool to see him be successful, and did you see his press conference? Like talking about what he literally lived at Tom's house.
Wow.
Like, and he started.
Tasia.
Tom, I could be a wide receiver.
Okay, careful. Whoa.
Hold on, never mind.
Cut it out.
Sorry, Giselle.
Sorry, I didn't make that. Sorry, I didn't mean to make that funny.
But he's this guy who was, you know, you can look at him and go, man, like that guy's an idiot. You know, and then he kind of sorts to get it sort of through Tom's life. So I guess, I don't know, I'm just saying for me on the outside, like character counts is important.
And that makes you want to see people win even more.
There you go. That's what I was driving at.
Yeah.
I want to see that dude be successful.
Agree. Yeah.
100%.
It's part of the reason why, like, if we start to talk about Trump, and I'm not trying to be political, it's part of the reason why that bothered me. Not that he's not doing some of the things politically the way that I think that that's true, or politics I would do it that way. It's that character also freaking counts. You know, like what is it? The ends don't justify the means. Is that the thing?
That's it.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Slogan.
But we've kind of talked about that
would
too.
like to talk.
Ooh, here we go, Lake.
Boom.
Your turn. What did you think? What did you think of WandaVision this week?
It's good. And
Speak into the mic so I can hear you.
and
What was your favorite
there's,
part? Well, don't give anything away because people haven't seen it yet. Was this your favorite one so far? You gotta say yes.
yes,
Which part?
the first one, the number one.
Oh, the first WandaVision was your favorite one? That's good. Why is Wanda your favorite?
I don't know.
Good answer.
That's fair.
Yes,
Anything else you
accurate.
want to say? No? Is that it? All right. Yeah.
I gotta watch WandaVision.
Watch it's you gotta get through the first 3 episodes.
Okay.
Because they're kind of
And
like.
then it picks up.
Yeah, there's some backstory going on, some weirdness.
What platform is that on?
Disney Plus. Oh, dang. It's pretty good. If you like the Marvel stuff, it's good. It's now I'm telling you, for the first couple episodes, I was like, I don't know if I can make this.
Yeah.
I was only watching it because she was watching it and wanted to watch it, and so now I'm like, all right, I'm in. And so episode, I guess 4 and 5, you start to see some stuff going on, and you're like, oh, okay.
Is it from Marvel?
It's from Marvel,
Yeah,
so it's
what's
between Infinity War and Endgame.
Interesting.
I think is technically where it's at. Yeah.
The best part of that was your other daughter was right there, grinning and dancing around the whole time it was going
Love
down.
it.
She's so cute.
She is.
Turd looks just like your sisters. Okay, get that out of your mouth because you're gonna stab yourself in the face.
Uh-oh.
Where we at,
Which one's
Ben?
coming?
We are
Yeah.
at 52.
52. You got any conspiracies? Anything?
No, man.
Trump's gone. There's no conspiracies anymore. Hey, man.
It's amazing how quiet things
Is he
got.
still off Twitter?
Has he been banned from all of that?
Last I heard, he was.
I thought somebody said it got restored. I don't know if that's true or not.
I don't know. I haven't keep up with anything.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
No, I mean it's so hard. It's just so hard sometimes to think about it all. Not that we shouldn't, but
Yeah. I mean,
so much going on in that area, and everything's kind of gone back to being peaceful and all right. And
There you go.
Did you guys see? I'm like kind of fired up. So there's 3 spots with SpaceX. It was a Super Bowl commercial about you can win a seat to go to space.
Wow. I want to do
I really
that.
want to
Win a seat or pay for a seat?
No. So the CEO of it's actually I have to look it up, but
Isn't Elon Musk this?
This is his thing, isn't it?
So
Yeah.
the CEO of this company, gosh, I have to look up what it was. If you go to the website, they're trying to. He's going, but then there's 3 seats that get to go, and they've classified them in like they're all philanthropies. So the CEO that gets to go is under leadership. Then there's generosity, 2 other ones. And so you can like apply, and 3 people will go and get trained to go up for
Yeah, I was
a
just
couple
gonna say,
days.
don't
I
you
want
need
to
like
do this.
what to go to space?
It's a
Jim?
contest. I know. I'm like, I gotta enter. How do I win?
I've never had
And
a
then they
desire to
pick.
go to space.
I'd do it.
I
mean,
definitely want to do that.
In the new
I'm applying.
in the new whatever the new ship is called, I can't remember now. Gosh, the person who loves space so much. That thing's legit. Like I trust that thing. They've already
No
sent
kidding.
astronauts up in it. Yeah, give me the suit. Let's go.
How many times hasn't there been a couple times where it like you
It
know,
blows up. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
I
blow up.
believe that was in the Apollo missions, and maybe
No,
in the
Elon's
80s.
all
I believe in
The
the 80s.
Challenger.
Challenger.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
That's
I
all
don't
I can
know.
think
Oh, you're
about.
talking about
Challenger in
SpaceX.
Columbia, but those are test runs. They wouldn't put the astronauts in there unless they were confident that they would be okay.
Well, yeah.
There's probably a waiver to sign.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's definitely a waiver.
You wave all
There's an
rights.
extensive waiver to sign. You want to go down?
Were there any good Super Bowl commercials?
That one.
The only decent one, there was a Bud Light seltzer one.
Oh,
the
that was
lemonade
good.
one,
I saw that
where it
one.
was like, it was like 2020, and like people are just doing things, and lemons are like
that
raining
one was
from
really
the sky.
funny.
And you're like, I'm like, where are they? Oh, life gives you lemons.
Yeah.
Make
Oh.
lemonade.
They were getting
That's
beamed in the
good.
face. There's like people dying
Trying to
under
text
tables.
me about like a Cheetos one that was like it wasn't me.
Oh yeah, it was,
I didn't see it though.
Mila Kunis, and
Oh, okay.
Ashton Kutcher.
Did you like that one?
No.
Nah,
No, it wasn't
It was
good.
like-
Okay.
I thought that wasn't that
Well,
funny.
she was like, "That was me." Whatever it was.
Dude, how wild is it they're moving to Hawaii?
Oh
Yeah,
Freddie
they're going
and
to
Sean.
Maui.
That's awesome.
Maui.
That's
Guess who's
wild.
going to visit?
I was gonna say yes.
That's like paradise, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
China was texting me. She's coming to visit in March, but when she was texting me, I thought she was saying me go visit her in Maui, and I'm like,
I'll be there.
she's like, you got to figure out the flights, or I'm gonna figure out the flights today, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to go look, and she's like, what are you talking about? I'm coming to
Oh,
Cookville.
this is awkward.
I was like, oh okay, this is good. I will come to Maui though when you want me to.
Me and her and Freddie were on a text thread. She's like, "You guys gotta come, bring the kids." I was like, "We will come. We will not bring the kids. You're not going. You're not going."
How long's the flight?
Well, to
It's
Kauai,
3 and
it's like
3, I think, right? Or 3 and 4.
really to Maui.
That's not bad.
I thought
There's
so.
like the second
was way longer than
flight
that.
is usually like 6
Oh,
to
never mind.
from
Yeah, I think
like
you're right.
Denver or
Okay.
Okay.
We flew to
Or Los Angeles.
San Diego, I think.
I think it's still like 6-ish from there,
San Diego.
which isn't bad really.
Never mind.
Anchorman.
Diego,
I got that one.
Yeah.
When you've been on like a 20-hour flight,
was gonna
6
say.
hours is just like
It's
whatever.
like nothing.
Yeah, unless you have a 1-year-old. We took Lakeland
That's
to
fair.
Kauai.
Ooh.
Nah, dude.
Yeah, it was
How'd
bad.
she do on that flight?
Awful. She did okay, but the time change, and then we stayed
Yeah.
at where did we stay? We didn't stay at his house. We stayed at his parents' like Airbnb, and they
Okay,
didn't
yeah.
have AC.
Yep.
Ooh.
It was not a pleasant.
That'd be hard in a hot environment. There's no
Hot.
sleeping
Lakeland
if you're
wouldn't
hot.
Sleep. We
Oh.
weren't sleeping.
Well, they've upgraded. They got those AC units in all the rooms now.
Nice, okay.
So.
Yeah, need to go back then.
It does actually make a difference
Yeah,
when you're
Aaron-
like trying to
Oh,
sleep.
it's beautiful too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then I can't sleep if it's above 68 degrees. I cannot sleep.
You can't sleep when you're sweating
it's
either.
hot.
Like those tropical
Hillary's
environments.
tried to like crank the heat up, and I can tell. I'm telling you, 67
Yeah.
to 68
Yeah, it's a
Is
deal.
your-
way different
Yep.
for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I'll wake up sweating.
Yeah. It's actually better to sleep
Do
cold.
you remember? Did you see? What's the one with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg where they're?
The other dad?
The other guy?
The other?
No. The recent one where they're stepdads of.
Yeah, I thought that was for the
Oh.
other.
Yeah, yeah.
it's not the other
or
guys.
Daddy. something?
Daddy's Home.
Daddy's home.
Yeah,
So
that's
the
pretty
second
good.
Daddy's Home. It's like
I
they're
haven't
in a
seen it.
cabin and the little girl keeps messing with the thermostat. All of them show up and they're like,
Yeah.
"Who touched the thermostat? Did you touch the
They're
thermostat?"
all wearing the same thing.
Yeah, they're like, I didn't touch the thermostat. Who touched the thermostat? And so it's like, but it's so true. I'm like, who touched the thermostat?
Nah, I can tell.
What's weird is that 67 to 68 is the same for Kristen and I.
Really?
Like in between there, you know the difference. Hey, what's the thermostat on?
Yeah.
If it's 68,
He's like, I'm so
it's too
cold.
hot.
Can we turn it up? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
no, we
die.
cannot.
Yeah.
And then our room for some reason holds the heat. I think because the thermostat is in the open part, like by the stairs and that open kind of foyer area. And so it gets cool in there. And so it'll crank the heat up for the rest of the house. So the back room, if the doors are shut, gets miserably hot. So I have to turn a fan to push the hot air out.
We also have our summer blanket and our winter blanket. So you have figured out the weight of the blanket ends up being important, and we switch it out at the right time of the year.
smart.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Like flannel sheets. I used to have those. I don't anymore. But
Flannel sheets.
That's what I
Wow.
say.
that
they're
sounds
like
really hot.
I don't think they're actually flannel, but they're warmer than like just cotton sheets.
They're like a
Because in New
heavier sheet.
Hampshire, you have to.
Thread count,
those.
that matters.
I've found out I have this blanket that is not, it doesn't like, it's almost like a quilt, but it's not as heavy as a quilt.
Okay.
So it doesn't form to my body really
Yeah.
well. So I don't get super hot.
Oh, so you like that?
I love it.
See, I wouldn't like that.
And then I've, slept, like if we go travel or something like that, or like the bed or our other bed has like a heavy blanket. Not happening. Can't do it. Get too hot. I run too hot.
No sweating during sleep.
And me and Hillary are complete opposites. She's always cold and I'm always hot. That's what it is.
Don't they have one of those beds that's like a sleep
yeah,
number
different.
thing that you have different sides and
Yeah.
you can do the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
thing?
But I
and-
think that's like firm. But then again, maybe you can
Firm
add the
versus-
chili.
Yeah, I'm sure now that.
Yeah.
Or if her hands are really cold, then you guys should put them on your hands and they'd be warm. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You
that's-
know when you're like really cold and you want to touch someone who's warm?
Yes.
It'd be perfect.
Yes.
Because you guys are opposites.
That's sweet.
I mean, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
It's
Real
not
life
weird
versus
unless you make
reality.
it weird.
Don't touch me. It's too hot. Hands are hot.
Yeah. And then Kirsten's hands are ice. And
Really?
she'll walk up and just put them on me sometimes. And you're just like, that's funny.
As soon as Hillary touches the bed, her internal temperature immediately goes to 500 degrees. I'm like, gosh, it's so hot. Get away.
Are you like,
human flame or human torch, whatever it is?
are you at all a snuggler?
No.
Can you do
Well,
the whole?
Before I fall asleep, to sleep, I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
don't go away. Everything go away.
I can do that. I can do it in the beginning.
Yep.
Right.
Watching
and
a
then
movie, all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
But as soon as it's sleep, I'm like, don't touch me. I'm going to sleep. Like, don't touch me. Like maybe a foot.
100%.
Like,
no,
I'll-
I can't have
See,
that.
there you
On
go
your
with
foot.
it.
That's
Can't
it.
have that either.
Other than that,
Go.
don't touch.
We have like,
Touch.
what's it
Don't
called?
touch.
A California King. So
Yep.
it's like,
Plenty of space.
Bigger.
California
Yeah.
King is longer. It's not wider. We had this discussion.
oh, we did. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
How much
Interesting.
We
longer?
had this argument.
Oh,
It's
really?
Like a couple inches
Yeah.
longer, but not wider.
Okay. I thought
Yeah.
it was wider too
No,
because I
always
got
thought
plenty
too.
of space.
And me and Hillary had this, like, she's like, California King's bigger. It's, I guess you could say maybe the square inches is bigger,
Oh.
but it's just longer. It's not
I didn't
wider.
know that. Interesting.
You know?
Who
Oh.
knew?
Fun fact.
Yeah, I need my side of the bed, and I need you to stay on yours. I'll see you in the morning.
Maybe you do need a sleep number bed then. You
Yeah.
can just completely,
Those are expensive as crap.
they're
aren't
like
they?
thousands. It's crazy.
They're so expensive.
Yeah. But
The-
you can sleep propped up.
Papa
sleep
Dave
laid
got
down.
one, and it saved his life
Really? Why?
because it does all the heartbeat stuff, like the Whoop does.
Yeah.
Measures all that,
What?
and his heart was. I'm not going to say all the technical terms right. In an arrhythmia
Yeah.
of some kind, AFib or something.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, they do
And-
that in the bed?
Yeah,
Okay, my dad won.
Yeah, for sure. And then it
Holy
transferred
cow.
that information to him, and he found out about it and went to the doctor. And the doctor's like, "Oh yeah," and they did some
Sleep
surgery to
apnea.
shock
Oh,
his
shock it back to
heart
rhythm?
and put it back in rhythm.
Wow.
A king is 76 wide by 80 long,
Okay.
and a California king is 72 wide, so it's actually narrower.
Whoa.
And
No
84 long.
kidding.
Dang.
So it's the same inches, but
Interesting.
dispersed differently.
So you want just a king bed.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
you want
I
it.
So you don't
didn't
really
know
need
that.
more length off the
No.
bottom.
No, we
want a
don't need
king.
length.
Yeah.
I feel
You've been robbed.
I've been living under a.
You've been living a lie, Jim.
I've been living on a
Yeah.
lie, not under it. On a
Oh.
lie.
Sleep number bed has sleep IQ, which measures your heart rate variability.
That's what
Just
I'm
like
saying.
The Whoop. That is nuts.
I know,
Who knew?
and for sure it might have saved his life from a
That
stroke.
is crazy.
That is crazy.
There you go.
The more you know.
What kind is it? Sleep number?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
called its sleep IQ.
What is this? Oh, it does
the bed.
heat too?
It does its
They
heart rate
have
variability.
cooling beds though, right?
Yeah, they have the
Yeah.
chili pad or
Yeah.
whatever.
Send any information about sleep number of the bed you're going to send me to Silver at
We will
Mayhem
test
Mindset.
beds.
Yes.
You should try. I heard they have like a coolie. What is it called?
Chili pad.
Chili
Chili-
pad
yeah,
for
I've
your
heard that.
pillow.
Oh, really?
I feel like that would be horrible to me.
I
But-
use different pillows throughout the night.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
The chili thing, like
I
I,
have
bought
three.
one with that,
I have
and
three.
it was
I have
like
to have one on each side. and then I sleep with one on my chest, fall asleep, and then at some point it ends up behind my head, and then when I turn on my side, I need one. Because my arm doesn't lay completely on the bed. It needs to prop up a little bit. And I need to hug the other one. And then when I switch, I somehow throw the other one. And switch and switch.
I understand.
There we go.
Pillow gymnastics.
Yeah.
Do it at my house.
Pillow-nastics.
That's you know you're getting old because when I was like younger,
I
could
think
just.
that's the meaning of
No.
that.
Yeah.
You've taken it to something else.
I used to be able to sleep just with my arm on my side when my shoulders were like healthy and young, and now I have to have a pillow, or like I legit can't fall asleep. It's so uncomfortable.
My arm falls asleep. I used to sleep on my side, but now I have to sleep on my back because my arm will just.
It's healthy to sleep
it'll
on your
wake
back.
me up.
I just can't.
The pillow that
that
goes under
feeling.
my. Oh, go ahead. I'm
I
sorry,
was
man.
gonna say, I hate that feeling when you wake up and like you hurt because you slept wrong.
Ooh,
And
yeah,
you're just
that's
like,
so.
oh, I just messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm done for today.
You done messed up.
You
Hey, Ron.
The pillow that goes under my head is an old pillow from an old couch, but it was
Ooh,
the perfect.
interesting.
It was the perfect one for
Yeah, your head.
here. And then I have two others that I hug and rotate, like what Rich is talking about.
I'm not gonna lie, Elly. That pillow has become my new number one pillow.
It's
the one
pretty
you gave
mushy.
me.
I
like the mushy.
I think I ordered the wrong ones.
Oh,
to be honest,
I like it.
It's still like the wherever it's from, but like the one, and it might just be like you ever like every time I sleep. Like the setup my dad has like at the house is so soft. It might just be like all of it. Maybe they are the same pillows, but I've been sleeping with that one
I can
too.
tell it's
I
like more
it.
bougie than my $5 Walmart pillow.
It's
so.
definitely soft. I use it
nice.
I don't
too.
like too soft because then like it's like
Yeah.
I don't like a soft bed because I feel like I sink
I don't
into
like a
it more.
soft
Yeah.
And so then it also makes me hotter.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been using the gut dirt water.
Have you?
Yeah, just so you know.
Thank
I'm
you.
just eating a bag of salad a day.
Oh, look at you, Rich.
I was promised a bag but never got it.
Oh, I still have it. It's at my house. It's actually. I hope it's still not sitting in the garage.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, you do?
Ben, $250.
For what?
Oh, Ben, tell everybody.
He said, I bet I could cold clean, or Dre said, I bet you can't cold clean $315. I'll give you $250. And I said, if he can do it, I'll give him another $250.
It's amazing.
And he did it cold.
It was impressive.
It was
$315?
so
Impressive,
good,
huh?
Ben.
$315.
It
That's
felt
crazy.
Like $315, that's for sure.
Wow.
And you didn't get injured from it somehow.
So I will pay
Not
you.
yet.
I'm good for my word. I will pay you, but
Wow.
I don't want you.
See, that's what I'm saying.
no,
The
I'm paying.
kid is
Dre's gonna
talented.
give me 30 Chipotle meals over the span of however long that takes.
because he can't
That's
pay
awesome.
the $250 because his wife won't let him.
Bro, that's awesome. I'm telling you, you're
It was
talented.
impressive.
I'm
It was
telling you.
I was thoroughly impressed by that.
I was 50-50
I almost
on
made you
it.
do the. He said today. He said he could hit 365 front squat cold, and I said double or nothing. He said yeah, and I was like, I'm not letting you do that because I'm
No.
not
Yeah.
paying for your workman's comp when you did that.
Yeah.
And it would have been a PR.
Oh gosh,
Oh
Ben.
my gosh!
15
Why
pound
would you
PR.
even get under a bar like that?
Yeah, just take the money.
It's just like, I don't know, just not wasting reps getting warm, you know? I'm just hitting it
That's not how it works.
straight into
No,
it.
that's
Sometimes,
actually the opposite.
sometimes when good things like that happen, just tip the hat, man, and just
Yeah,
keep walking.
wait.
You know, just be like, yep,
Yeah, you don't need to try to do it again.
walk out the room, man.
Yeah.
I just like under your breath as you walked up to the bar, like you walked right by me. You go, here goes my other shoulder.
Is that what he said?
For real.
I was like, maybe this isn't a good
And
idea.
his knees like did this like
Oh, dude.
wave thing, and his hips, and I was like, "Bleh."
But to your credit, you freaking you nailed it. That
nailed
was
it, but I was just like-
incredible.
So if you
Yeah.
watch it from the right, that my right knee just like shoots up, and then it just gets smashed in because, you know, the weight evens you out. But if you watch from the left side, it looks pretty good because you
Yeah.
can't see that right knee just shooting up.
So if you
So-
post that video, just go that other side.
Yeah.
315 cold, it doesn't matter what
I
it looks
can't-
like. That stuff went up.
It
That's
was impressive.
amazing.
I was thoroughly impressed.
That's
Like
amazing.
your nervous
Why were you
system
impressed?
is.
Why not? It's heavy. It was completely cold.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
you impressed me today. Doing that 365,
Today
that
was a-
broken up.
Today was a battle.
365.
I did. We had to do 3 sets of 10. Or like, no, sorry, 10 sets of 3. Sorry.
Is this Bergner string stuff?
Yes, of 95% of front squats. So it's 365. So I did 4 sets of 3. On my 5th set, I failed my 3rd rep, so we had to clean it up. So then for the next 4 sets, I did 2, step back for like 15, 20 seconds, did 1, did that for the rest of the sets, and then had to do 1 extra to make up for the one that I missed.
It's just so much weight. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's still a
It
lot
was
of squats.
huge. That
30
was-
squats
it
at that
hurt.
weight.
That was.
It was hard.
It's been
Wow.
awesome, though, because everywhere you go, people are talking about
Oh,
it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Even on the mindset
Everybody's
forums, people are like, did you do the
smashed.
workout today? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
It's smashed. It's
That's
been good.
awesome.
It's been good squatting. So
It's awesome.
all right, gonna be at an hour, right?
Yeah, hour 10.
We're gonna maybe. When do you leave, Jim?
Thursday.
All right, we're gonna try to maybe do another one tomorrow, and Ellie's gonna bring the sushi bake.
Ooh, right on.
Ooh, double time.
And I'm bringing dessert sushi.
Wow.
Both
I'm
sushis.
into that.
Look at her following through.
I'm excited.
Oh, my bad. I just might have jinxed it.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Peace.